Let me begin by saying that I adore the women who are out and about in these neighborhoods. I am well aware that not all of you will concur with what I have to say and that some of you believe that a good woman is the pinnacle of achievement, but to tell you the truth, it's a pain in the butt to be around good women. I spent the first 2 years of my college career with a woman who was supposedly a good person, and it was she who introduced me to the red pill. It wasn't the 304s, who we have a sneaking suspicion will swindle, cheat, and otherwise take advantage of us. I had to deal with girls like that. They lied and rode Chad and Tyrone's digging stick on the regular. You get the picture. When those women performed the actions that were anticipated of them, I was able to confirm my suspicions that I should not take those women seriously. I wasn't upset because I knew they would have shown me that I was correct and that they were an untrustworthy person, but trustworthy women are an entirely different species. If you know a girl has been in these streets in the past, then you can expect her to act in a predictable manner in the future because she will want to return to these streets and cheat guys. I want you to realize that those low-quality women and lowlives are predictable in the sense that they will eventually betray you, cheat you, and stick you for your paper. I want you to understand this. These are the predictable actions of women who have been riding the rooster carousel and have just decided to take a break and be in a relationship. None of these women are going to surprise you by being faithful and loyal to you as a partner in the relationship. When you wipe her up, so just know that if you don't do your proper due diligence, then it's your fault that you got tricked because 304s will always stab you in the back because you didn't do your proper due diligence. I am aware that the vast majority of people are not going to be honest with you and tell you this truth, but it is the inconvenient truth that men need to hear, and you will better understand women when you do so. You realize that as long as you don't wipe up a 304 drop-off seed in her belly, trust her with your money or belongings, and do her wrong, then she probably won't do anything harmful to you. Now that you guys know what to expect from women who are in these streets, you now know what to expect from women who are in these streets. Therefore, I don't want you to feel repulsed by them or afraid of them. Roll up your salami and don't enter into a binding agreement or commitment of any kind. If you don't make them pregnant, don't trust them, and don't treat them like crap, the majority of you who are listening to this message won't run into any significant issues with 304s. However, the good women that the majority of you are looking for are not nearly as good as you believe they are. However, I want to be fair before I begin to destroy the illusion that you hope strategists will live. I can honestly say that I have never come across a good woman like the ones described in the Bible, and it is not surprising to me because there are so few of them that it is damn near impossible to find one anywhere in the world, much less within a single nation. On the other hand, 304s and rooster gobblers can be found in great numbers and make up the bulk of the population. So it is clear that most men in the world cannot get a good woman simply based on simple math, which means that most of you hope strategists will still be left out based on the numbers. Do you guys understand what I'm saying now? It doesn't matter which country you go to or how long you look for, the majority of you guys will never find a good woman, and you should just learn to accept the reality of the situation and move on with your lives. I already knew this many years ago, and as a result, I do not spend my time looking for a good woman because I am aware that it is highly likely that I will pass away before I am able to find one for myself. I'm aware that I just dashed a lot of people's hopes and dreams, and I know that some of you hope strategists are feeling pretty dejected right about now. You expect me to spend the rest of my life looking for a good woman despite the fact that millions of men have lived and died on this planet without ever knowing what a good woman is or even having the opportunity to put their salami in one of those women. Men have lived and died and still don't know what a good woman is. That I will just take the time to enjoy my time with the 304s and cross my fingers that I don't catch the itchy scratchy, and if I do catch the itchy scratchy, I will simply enter monk mode and wait for the Grim Reaper to arrive so he can send me to hell. I don't have time for the nonsense because this is my one and only life, and I'll be damned if I'm going to waste it on the pursuit of a good girl. You can count me out of that deal, and you opium smokers can go ahead and spend the rest of your lives trying to find the right woman to spend it with. You should be aware that when your time is up, there will be no second chance for you to redo anything, and because of this, the good women you and your friends will attract are women who will be good to you only temporarily until she makes her decision. She is done being good. She probably won't cheat without a good reason. She will play her role and be a good wife until it is time to divorce. She is done being good. If you let her, she will rape you to kingdom come, and then she will take away your kids and put you on child support. That is the so-called good woman that the majority of you will tell me you have a few years later. I'll see most of you who are still holding out hope being dragged through the divorce court, getting bent over, and having your assets taken by force. I can bet on that. Try to show me that I'm wrong about this, and you'll end up with a wonderful woman and a great divorce. I dare you to say that the most significant issue with decent women is that, for the most part, they lack predictability. When the time comes for the bait and switch, men will let their guard down and start to trust these women without question because of how well they act and play the role of a good woman and because of how well they play their role. You already know what will happen if you mess with 304s because most men won't see it coming, so you guys already know what will happen when you mess with 304s. However, the fact that so-called good women play the long game makes them extremely dangerous to men. It could take 10, 20, or even 30 years for her to stab you in the back, but you won't see it coming. A good woman will hurt you 10 times more than a 304 could ever do because of the way they stab you in the back. They will fight you tooth and nail in the family court to get custody of your children, all of your assets, and whatever else they can get their hands on, and they will make sure to drive the entire knife in. They have the right to, and if you think I'm lying about this, a divorce lawyer will tell you that the most nasty divorces in the family court are from stay-at-home wives. These are the same good wives that many of you men say you want, but they will put you through living hell if you get a divorce from them. When she's finished playing her role and it's time for the heel turn, a prime example of this is the recent divorce between Sylvester Stallone and his wife. When she's done playing her role and it's time for the heel turn, she put up with him for 25 years before deciding it was time to leave and end the marriage because she wasn't happy with their relationship. I told her it would be an ugly divorce, and I was proven right before they got divorced. Many of you would have liked to have a wife like that, and you may have thought she was a decent woman. However, 25 years later, we now know otherwise. She comes clean about who she really is and admits that she was only good for a period of time. This is something that the majority of men who pursue good women fail to anticipate, and as a result, these women end up taking you by surprise and wreaking havoc on your lives. I really hope that you guys understand the reason why the so-called good women are so dangerous, and why these women are not good women like the Bible talks about in the good women category. They are simply women who you may be able to work with for a period of time before they pull the plug on your relationship and hop on the next available digging stick. This is the only difference between so-called good women and 304s. The other difference is that the so-called good women are more likely to stay faithful to you. Aside from the fact that both of them will stab you in the back, they are aware of the number of people with whom they have sexual relationships and tend to play the long game. If you ever think that your girl would never do something like that, you are setting yourself up for a rude awakening indeed. Let's bring all of this together and tie it into the topic at hand so you can get a better understanding of why men prefer the so-called good women rather than the women from the past around woman. Because they have lower bodies and are perceived as good women, that is really all there is to it at the end of the day, because the truth is that most men want a woman who will be faithful, loving, and a wonderful mother to their children, and most women have lower bodies. Unfortunately, men don't seem to be able to see that these women are wolves in sheep's clothing. They are only going to play their role until they have secured the bag, and they have no genuine loyalty or love in their hearts for men. Men are blind to the fact that these women are predators. Therefore, despite the fact that dating a 304 will provide you with a better deal overall, the end result will be the same, and you will come out on the losing end. The majority of the time, a few of these self-proclaimed good women will stick by your side through the storm. What the majority of them will do to screw you over now in relation to the past around women, automatically you can anticipate that approximately 90 to 98 of them will do you wrong in your relationship and stab you in the back. If you get involved with a woman like that, there shouldn't be any surprises when she does you dirty. This is just something that you should already be expecting and know will happen every time without fail. That's a no-brainer, so you shouldn't be surprised when it happens. Because of this, I'm going to explain why there shouldn't be any surprises when you get with a woman who gets passed around. If you are smart, you should screen and investigate all of the women you plan to get with, whether you intend to do so seriously or casually. Therefore, you are aware of what to anticipate before you even consider the possibility of sliding your salami inside the woman, which is fortunate for you. You are now aware that once a woman has a history, taking her seriously is the definition of the hope strategy, and doing so is a sign that a man is living in his own fantasy world. Because the women who are angry have been passed around, and they can't find a man to take care of them after they wreck their lives, this is the primary reason that women are upset that men don't want to wife up and take care of pastor on women. That at the end of the day, if those women were still getting men to commit, we wouldn't even hear a single complaint or shame language, but they want to have their cake and eat it too. Those women want to have it both ways. They are oblivious to the fact that, as a result of the RPs spreading like wildfire, men are no longer stupid, and more men are waking up and realizing that these women are toxic, and they want no part of them other than to rearrange their guts. This is something that they fail to realize. The fact that they will have to spend the last quarter of their lives alone and without a retirement plan from a man is the source of their anger, and it is something that they simply cannot stand. But that's not our problem, and we don't care about the ladies, so you can go ahead and die by yourself if you want to. All I ask is that you make a promise to me that you won't let yourself become a pet wallet and retirement plan for these so-called good women. The free agent lifestyle requires going your own way or entering monk mode if necessary. However, the key to success is to never forget that this is the only way to win and to never allow these women to use and discard you like trash. You are not meant to live for women, so stop acting like you are and make the most of your time on this floating rock in space. This game is not for you to play, so make the most of your life and live it to the fullest.